Elbow Grease Productions, in association with MichaelJacksonInsider.com, presents
would be all right to answer.
And what was the question?
Well, no, they asked me about B. Howard, and I kind of have my own opinion of what I think. And I believe he is the son of Michael Jackson.
And Diana Dasser at TMZ called me up and hounded me like a rabid dog. And at that point, they had already started working on the story. So this is not how we want to introduce B. Howard to the world.
No.
But it is very important for both, it's historical in terms of music, in terms of pop culture, and you know, how this turns out. The results are here. They arrived last night. They've been tested in two separate labs, one in Ireland and one in Utah. And we acquired DNA from two of the remaining of the last living four Jacksons. They was acquired by one of our employees at a concert that they're doing in Vegas last 2 weekends ago. And Michael's DNA we have acquired from Dr. Joseph Goodman. Dr. Goodman, do you want to tell us a little bit about the authenticity of the impressions?
Absolutely. So about a year and a half ago, I obtained the impression of Michael Jackson. It was actually taken about 30 years ago during his Moonwalker movie, 35 years ago. And it's kept in a very good condition. It was in a storage room for all these years. And an immediate family member of Michael Jackson gave it to an auction house to co-sign it.
I think we actually have. Do we have a clip in the back room? I believe we've done this on the fly because of this man here. We've had to rush and put this together. I think we have a clip of the dental impressions being swapped. Somebody can just scream at me from the back if that's the case. We do. Okay, so can we roll that, please? So go ahead.
So, yeah, I obtained the impression. I have it certified by the auction house, and I talked to the president of the auction house, who told me personally that an immediate family member who does not want to be named gave this impression to the auction house because they had no use for it. I'm a dentist. I'm a cosmetic dentist. I deal with impressions and models all day long. I knew what to do with it. So I kept it for the last year and a half in my storage. And then I was approached by Johnny Fado, who then said, we need DNA evidence. And because of the good condition this impression is in, I gave it to Johnny Fado, and we had it tested. I haven't seen the test results myself yet, but here we are.
And you know, it's important to note that we looked in many places for authentic DNA of Michael Jackson. We looked in many places, and we had a lot of different leads.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Before all this goes underway? I just want to say that B. Howard is a friend of mine, and what many people don't know, because he's not really that well known as an artist yet, but I've worked with him. He's on my new album that's coming out. What I can tell you is this man is an incredibly talented, like genius, incredibly musically genius, talented young man, singer, songwriter, artist, performer, instrumentalist. He can do it all. So whether he is or he is not is really not the issue for me. For me, the issue is him finding peace of mind. And that's why he did this in the first place. It wasn't for this circus. And this is, I think, what he was trying to avoid. So I just wanted that to be said. Whatever happens today, his art is going to shine through no matter what.
But let me interrupt very quickly. I mean, of course it's a circus. If Michael Jackson had a son 30 years ago and nobody knew about it, and now we have evidence.
Right, he just wanted to keep it private. I mean, his intention was to keep it for himself. It was his own personal knowledge.
Let's go into a bit of a backstory about B. Howard. Okay, you know, I really studied this subject quite intensively in the last few months. You know, Brandon was born in 1981. His mother is Miki Howard, who's a very famous R&B and pop singer. She's hugely respected in the music industry. She was being managed by Joe Jackson, who you also know, right? And Joe Jackson is obviously Michael's father, the father of the Jackson clan. And in 90 and Mickey's nickname is Billy, which I find fascinating. In 1982, the song Billie Jean was released, and as we know, the legendary lyrics of the child is not my son.
The kid is not my son.
The kid is not my son. I think that's very leading, right? I mean,
yeah.
Nazi.
What are the chances that he could be a Jackson, but not necessarily Michael Jackson's son?
Well,
would the DNA evidence be able to determine the difference between Michael Jackson and, say, Joe Jackson or somebody else?
As I've been told by the two separate labs, absolutely. Absolutely. There is a very definitive paternal test that can be done. There is also a very definitive family test that can be done. One that is female and one that is male. One from the mother and one from the father, and they're two separate tests. In fact, they're three separate tests. We've done both the male family line, and we've done the paternal test, and these are the tests that will be coming shortly. So, Dr. Goodman, you are not just a one-time Michael Jackson acquirer of paraphernalia that belonged to the late Michael Jackson, are you?
No, I'm like most people, I grew up with Michael Jackson songs, throughout my career as a student in school and high school. He was part of my life, of course. We all got entertained by Michael Jackson. So I do have other memorabilia which I acquired through the same auction house. That's correct.
Which auction house was it?
Julian's.
Okay. I know Darren Julian.
You do?
I'll have to bring this up with him.
Of course.
The authenticity of the stuff that Julian's.
Oh well, no. I know for a fact that the stuff that Darren Julian has, at least what I've seen, has been authentic because Michael had a big deal with him before he died that he was going to do this massive auction of the Neverland estate. However, right before his inconceivable death, about 6 months prior to it, he stopped the sale and he halted it, and he actually bought back a great portion of his own stuff.
That is correct, yes. Michael Jackson wanted to sell originally, I believe, a lot of items which were displayed at the on Macy's, the old shopping mall. And there was an exhibit, and a lot of items were exposed, and it was beautiful. And then last minute he did stop it. I think there was even a lawsuit, and he bought his items back. Yes,
that's correct. The settlement.
The settlement.
But the family bought the items back, and it's important. I think really important to know another misunderstood issue that's arisen in the press is that BHoward has never ever said that he wants to go after any of the family estate. That's not in his MO as a human being or as a person. He's not interested.
And he's also never claimed to be Michael Jackson's son.
That's right.
Let me clear that up.
That's right.
The thing is, it's haunted him his whole life. Look, I've known the guy, on and off for years, but we've really become very close over the last, year or two. And the thing that struck me is that no matter what, he has the spirit of Michael Jackson. I mean, he sounds like him, he talks like him, he moves like him, and he has all of God's given talent like him. And that is the astounding part.
Jackson, he almost acts too much
but
like
don't
Michael
you think
Jackson.
That would turn the Jacksons off from being around it? If he's acting like the, you know what I mean?
Certainly don't want an impersonator.
For some reason, it's okay for him to be that way.
He produced LaToya's music, right?
Yeah.
He's produced LaToya's
and he's also produced for T3, written and produced for T3, which is the Tito's Three Sons. They had a band for many years. They may still have a band. But anyway, he produced them. He's been involved with, multiple Jackson works throughout the years, and you can research it on YouTube.
I saw a picture, and I'm really annoyed that I didn't email it to the media people. I found a picture with the 4 Jackson brothers, and who is standing from a couple of years ago, and who is standing in the middle amongst the 4 Jackson brothers is BHoward.
I think that speaks volumes.
I think it speaks more than volumes.
Look, it's not been denied that he's part of the family. We just don't know what part of the family.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So he could be a nephew, a cousin.
Fair enough.
Whatever.
Fair enough. But that picture, that image, stays in my mind, and I like a Greek buffoon that I am, completely forgot to bring it. And if you want to, if any stalkers want to search the internet, they'll be able to find it on one of the blogs out there that talks about this, because the conversations have been running rife over this issue for quite a long time now.
Does BHoward know whether or not he's the son of Michael Jackson, or is he also going to find out with... okay, so we're all going to find out together.
That's why he did this. He did this for his own personal knowledge, because he wants to know who his daddy is. You know, it's the who's my daddy
right.
game, man.
Well, I mean, it's listed in other places on the web, and if you do your research, it shows that his mom is Miki Howard and his dad is
Augie.
That's right. Yeah.
Augie.
Yeah,
but Augie, apparently, from what I understand, says that Brandon is not. From what I understand.
Is not what?
Is not his son.
Is not Augie's son.
Yes. Augie says that.
He's saying that his own son is not his son.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Why?
what. Because if he isn't, he would say that.
I understand, but what?
Hey, someday
How would his name be put on the birth certificate? Whose name is on the birth certificate? Oh wait, there is no birth certificate.
There is no birth certificate. That's exactly right.
That's a bit odd.
There is no birth certificate. That's absolutely right.
Well, gentlemen, I think there's a lot of discussion going on and rumors. I think we have a piece of evidence, which is the impression, and I think that's the best way to find out. I mean, we don't have to speculate. I mean, like you said, he looks too much like Michael Jackson, or he acts, but he's not trying to look like him. He looks the way he looks like. I saw him.
Correct.
I touched him.
Marsha's here.
The way
there's no plastic surgery.
Marsha
well,
came
he
across.
looks the way he looks.
Guys,
Yes.
Marsha's here. Marsha, can you give the results to the doctor, please?
Yeah. Well, so this ends it right here.
Oh, this is...
Thank you.
Thank you, Marsha.
So,
All right.
this is the DNA evidence. Okay, so
Is it sealed?
it is sealed, yes, and it's by a company in Washington D.C.
The results were taken in Utah. The labs are in Utah. One in Utah and one in Ireland.
In Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shut up and go on with it. Get on with it.
I'm excited myself.
You gotta hurry here.
All right. This thing takes time. Okay, so I have a piece of paper in front of me, which is a DNA lab result, and a lot of numbers. DNA medical lab parental testing result, and it says in here the probability of parenting is 99.9%.
Wow.
I think we have the proof. This is.
I would say that's
This
absolutely
is. Let me see that.
99.9.
All right. So I'm going to call Brandon's management, because
I think you should call Brandon himself. He likes to know.
We tried getting him. TMZ tried getting him today, and he wasn't available at all. But I know that
Brandon, I just spoke with him.
Scott Broomfield. Oh, by the way, this is another interesting thing. By the way, that you may or may not have known, that the last artist to work with Michael Jackson was Akon, and they released a song called "Hold My Hand," which is a beautiful song, and that song, which has got something like 75 million views on YouTube, is a collaboration between Michael and Akon. And Akon, interestingly, is partners with Scott Broomfield, the management company that manages Brandon. So, there's an awful lot that's been hidden from the public. And I think it's really, really an important thing. It's a very historical moment in music history that there is this is the only known, proven child of Michael Jackson. This is the only, because none of the other ones have had a DNA test done or certainly revealed. This is the only living son of the late Michael Jackson that is known to exist. And what's more, he is an incredibly talented man. So I'm going to give
99.99999%.
That's pretty convincing.
Wow. Now, what lab ran this? Do you know the name of the lab? Can you tell us the name of the lab?
I could, but not publicly. Hold on. Hello? Scott. Did you watch that?
I did.
And how do you feel? This is Scott Broomfield, who manages Brandon and is partners with the Akons, and they look after Brandon's career. And we actually fell out. We had a big argument yesterday after TMZ released, did what they did. But thanks for answering. And can I have your opinion?
Well, I know that he wanted to thank his fans, and he really wanted to make sure that everybody knows that he didn't go to TMZ yesterday. That story was not from him, and he has no interest in going after the fortune of the state. Right now, he was made aware, of it yesterday, and he's.
Scott, how do you feel about it being proven that he is the son of the late Michael Jackson?
Well, I believe that he's, like all of us, he's a bit relieved, I'm sure. I haven't spoken to him in the last 2 minutes, and at this point, I believe Brandon has released a statement on his Facebook, and I know that, he's focused on his music career, and as much as
As always, Scott, you are too diplomatic. Thank you so much, Scott. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got... How do you feel about that, Nazi?
Do you want me to continue? It's not on official letterhead. I don't know if it's...
Have you ever seen a DNA test?
I don't. See, I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. I know it says 99.999%, but I don't know... I know what I'm seeing.
Are you worried about the 1%, Ness?
No. I'm just...
The 0.001%.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think, and I have to echo his concerns that this does not, say it's official. There's no seal of certification. There's no anything that documents that this is
have a look at the lab result. Have a look at it, for God's sake.
Well, there should be an address. There should be something.
There was an address, and we asked them specifically when they sent it to not include any accompanying documentation in case it was intercepted. But that is the official result.
I mean, it doesn't even have his name on it.
They're anonymous. They're always anonymous. You look up any DNA test result, they're always anonymous.
Well, which name would you like to put on? That's the question. You want to find out if two DNAs match.
They have the two DNAs. They don't need to know the names of the people.
The lab doesn't know. The lab doesn't know who it is.
Well, I mean, I'm being the devil's advocate here, or the voice of reason, whichever you want to call it. A lot of people are going to cry and demand for more specific proof than this.
And you know what? That can go on for a very long time. And I'm sure that there will be doubters, and there will be haters, and there will be those who create and build the controversy. But it is what it is. We have no interest whatsoever to have this go to be positive or negative. That is a point that personally, and this company has absolutely no interest in Brandon being confirmed either way.
Okay, fair enough, but the point being, how can you show the public? How can you prove to people upon further request?
I'll tell you how you show the public. You meet Brandon, just like you said.
I know because I'm friends with him, but that's different.
All right, so let me ask you a question. If you didn't have the... Can we put these away, please? Can somebody... Masha, can you please come and take these away? If we had no test result, right, what would your opinion be?
Well, my opinion would be that he has a striking resemblance all around to Michael, but either way, he's an amazing person and an amazing artist, and that's why I'm his friend.
That's not the question. That's not my question.
Right, who do you think was his father? Do you think he is the son of Michael Jackson?
Personally, yes, I do. Personally, I do. Because I've never met two people that were more alike in my life, and when he came into my home the first time, I felt like Michael was walking into my house again. So yes, in my estimation, that would be my guess. However, that said, I'm not a doctor, and I know very little about the case.
I've spent so much time with this. I think you cannot... We went to a huge amount of trouble to get that swab done by the dentist over there. We went to a huge amount of trouble to get hold of the Jackson brothers' DNA, without a doubt, for me, this is done.
Thousands believed Tupac did it. Millions believed Elvis did it. But did Michael Jackson really do it? E-movie book, Pseudocide, Did Michael Jackson Fake His Death to Save His Life? By author Pearl Jr. It's the most shocking true story of our lifetime. Order yours today. Go to michaeljacksonpseudocide.com. That's michaeljacksonpseudocide.com.